Hi, I'm Harvey, and this is my demo for my computer graphics project. I decided to create a scene that was Dublin far after an apocalypse where nature has begun to take over again. So now my program's starting and loading all the models, and straight away we'll be able to see I have a number of 3D objects in the scene. Right now you can see a model of the Samuel Beckett Bridge. I downloaded the geometry for this model from the Dublin Smart Dock Lens project. I then imported it into Blender and UV mapped a rusty texture onto it that I got from textures.com, which I then exported the model and loaded it into my own program using the async model loader. I use the glfw library to capture user input and allow the user to navigate around the scene, using WASD to strafe and the arrow keys to rotate the camera. There are 3 camera views. Right now we're in what I call the free roam mode, where we can use the keyboard to move around the scene. I have 2 other camera modes which can be toggled using the number buttons. You may already have noticed the birds in the sky, but now by clicking 1, we're in the bird watching mode, where the camera automatically tracks the flock as it moves around. I implemented the Boyd's algorithm in order to make a realistic flocking simulation. By pressing 2, we can now have a close-up look of the birds. I modeled them myself in Blender. I then created an armature and created a skeletal animation, which was loaded again through async and applied to all the vertices based on the bone weightings, which is a pretty standard method. By pressing 0, we can go back to free roam mode again. And I'm now going to use the cube to demo the different lights. So you've already seen the directional light, which is simulating the sun, but you can also see some point lights around, those red ones, and also a white spotlight coming out from the camera. So as we go over to the cube, you'll also notice that the metal parts have specular highlights. I did this using specular mapping, which makes only the metal parts of this cube reflective. So to summarize, I've implemented all of the required features. I have a number of 3D objects and views. The user can navigate through the scene using keyboard input. I have the hierarchically animated characters, which are the birds, and they're also moving in a crowd. Every object in the scene is texture mapped using image files, and the Phong illumination model is implemented with 3 different types of light available. Additionally, I've implemented some advanced features: the skybox, which you could see in the background of the video, specular mapping using images. I made a number of 3D models myself in Blender, and we can also see hierarchical animation using a standard skeletal animation method, which would allow any number of pre-made models to be loaded in or complex animations made in Blender. Finally, the crowd of birds uses the Boyd's algorithm to intelligently move around the scene. Thank you for watching.